With Stage 2 of the Overwatch Champions Series wrapping up at the Esports World Cup, teams worldwide are now looking at their rosters and considering changes to address weaknesses and strengthen their chances for future success. Welcome to Tank Talk, where today we'll be breaking down the recent roster announcements from two major North American teams, Spacestation Gaming and NTMR. We'll explore what these moves mean for the regional power rankings, where each team's strengths lie, and the areas where they may still face challenges. The first team to discuss is the partnered organization Spacestation Gaming. Despite securing a top 4 finish with a 4-3 record, they were quickly eliminated from the regional playoffs after winning only a single match. Since then, the team has made significant changes both to their roster and coaching staff. The new lineup features Hawk on tank, Chronic and Sugarfree on DPS, and CJ and Lep on support. Additionally, tank player Cardifan and DPS player Scissors will serve as substitutes. This organization enters Stage 3 with several question marks. Hawk has not played professionally in over a year, and his commitment to the game has fluctuated pretty heavily during that time. Recently, however, he has been grinding the competitive ladder, suggesting his passion for Overwatch has been reignited. Even so, Hawk has historically been an off-tank player, and it remains to be seen how he will perform in metas that do not suit his hero pool. While Cardifan could potentially cover some of those gaps, he is primarily a streamer with no professional experience, making it unlikely that he will see any playtime during this stage. Spacestation Gaming's DPS duo of Chronic and Sugarfree is, without question, the team's biggest strength. In Stage 2, Chronic proved himself to be a lethal hit scan specialist, boasting mechanics capable of single-handedly winning fights. His standout performance earned him the OWCS North America Stage 2 Superstar Award. If he can maintain that level of play, he will be a dangerous threat to any opponent. His partner Sugarfree may well be the greatest North American player of all time, having won the North America MVP award in year 1 of the OWCS after 4 consecutive first-place stage finishes. Competing professionally since the age of 12, Sugarfree has both the skill and experience to completely take over matches on his own. Spacestation Gaming's support line features CJ on flex support and Lep on main support, and it will clearly be the team's most notable weakness. Neither player is bad by any means, but despite years of competition, neither has demonstrated the playmaking potential required to be on a top-tier team. Whether this new environment will help them elevate their performance remains to be seen, but for now, the support line is likely to remain a limiting factor. Overall, Spacestation Gaming enters Stage 3 as a team of contrasts. Their DPS line is clearly elite, with Chronic and Sugarfree's proven dominance giving them the firepower to win games outright. However, questions loom over the rest of the roster. Hawk's return to pro play brings both potential and uncertainty, as his hero pool and recent competitive absence could impact his consistency. The support line of CJ and Lep, while steady, lacks the proven playmaking needed to match the league's best and remains the team's biggest vulnerability. If their stars can stay in peak form and the rest of the roster can rise to the occasion, Spacestation Gaming has the tools to upset top contenders, but any cracks in their tanker support play could quickly be exposed. The next team to discuss is NTMR, a team that has seen dozens of players come and go throughout their existence, and yet somehow always manages to be a top-level competitor no matter what. They finished Stage 2 in second place with an impressive 6-1 record, and made it all the way to the lower bracket finals of the regional playoffs before being knocked out. The entire roster was then loaned to Sign Esports for the Esports World Cup, where they were knocked out in the group stage. The roster has undergone a few changes since then, and now consists of Rhino and Painkiller on tank, Seeker and Rocket on DPS, and Squid, Nenwai, and Lucamino on support. The team's tank line remains unchanged from Stage 2, where it served as a consistent driving force. Rhino saw limited playtime and struggled in some of the matches he did appear in, while Painkiller proved to be a steady presence, consistently leading the charge and putting up strong stats in metas that suited his hero pool. The question now is whether Rhino simply needed more time to build synergy with the team, or if potential vulnerabilities will emerge in metas where Painkiller's hero pool is less effective. Nightmare has retained flex DPS player Rocket and brought in Canadian player Seeker to take over the hitscan role. Seeker struggled throughout Stage 2 with Spacestation Gaming, failing to adapt to the new hero Freya and relying heavily on a limited hero pool, often without making much impact. Rocket, by contrast, has consistently excelled in the flex DPS role and has been a key factor in the team's success so far. Whether this new environment can help Seeker recapture the form he showed early in his career remains to be seen, leaving the overall strength of Nightmare's DPS line somewhat uncertain. Rounding out the roster is the support line of Squid, Lucamino, and Nenwai. Squid has been a rising star in North America and could emerge as one of the best in his role across the region in this new environment. He's supported by Nenwai, a veteran main support with years of experience, and Lucamino, who brings valuable versatility by playing both flex and main support roles. While Nenwai and Lucamino have yet to display the playmaking prowess of top-tier supports, the adaptability and depth of this backline stands out as a clear strength for the team. Nightmare heads into Stage 3 with a proven track record of resilience and competitiveness, but also with a few unanswered questions. Their tank line, anchored by the consistency of Painkiller, remains a reliable foundation, though its flexibility in less favorable metas could be tested if Rhino doesn't step up. The DPS line has high potential. Rocket continues to be a standout performer, and if Seeker can regain the form that once made him one of the region's most promising hitscan players, this duo could become a serious threat. The support line, led by the emerging talent of Squid, and backed by the versatility of Lucamino and the veteran experience of Nenwai, offers both depth and adaptability, though top-tier playmaking remains an area for growth. If Nightmare's new additions click and Seeker finds his stride, they have the pieces to challenge for the top spot in North America once again. But if their DPS synergy falters or their tank line struggles in shifting metas, cracks could appear against the region's elites. Fans should watch closely to see whether Nightmare's trademark resilience can once again carry them through the season's toughest challenges. As Stage 3 of the Overwatch Champions Series approaches, both Spacestation Gaming and Nightmare find themselves in interesting positions within the North American landscape. Spacestation Gaming boasts one of the most dangerous DPS duos in the region, with Chronic and Sugarfree, capable of dismantling entire teams on their own. Yet questions remain around Hawk's adaptation after a year away from pro play, and whether the support duo of CJ and Lep can elevate their performance. Nightmare, on the other hand, enters with a strong foundation and a history of resilience. Painkiller's stability in the tank role, Rocket's proven DPS impact, and the flexibility of a deep support line gives them a balanced core. However, Seeker's ability to bounce back from a rough Stage 2 and Rhino's readiness to contribute meaningfully in high-stakes metas will be critical to their success. For both teams, the path forward is clear but challenging. Spacestation Gaming must rely on their star power while shoring up their weaker positions, and Nightmare needs to integrate their changes without losing the consistency that has made them a top contender. Stage 3 will reveal whether these roster moves were enough to close the gap on North America's best, or if familiar weaknesses will resurface when it matters the most. What do you think about these roster moves, and which players and teams are you most excited to watch going forward? Let me know in the comments section below. This was Tank Talk, and thank you for watching.